I have chosen two trends to focus on, both with different domains. One being green IT with the trend of sustainability through the use of IT, and home computing with the trend of what effect this has on the elderly and their use of them. IT retirees, with the elderly, this is mainly focused on the older retirees, who have been introduced only recently to the technological age of computers and the fact that everyone has one in their house, that is, a home computer. They have been introduced to the internet and emails along with social websites and have been heaped on with a load of information which they might not all understand. Because of this load of information, these people have become swamped down and have not in any way been able to take in any of this information. One example that I've personally witnessed is that if you go through and delete multiple files at the same time and do not delete others through the use of different hotkeys and highlighting, they stare in amazement at what they thought was a monumental job. You then explain to them what you have done and then try it out, and you find that something you do every day to be so hard for them to comprehend and copy, meaning you have to explain it over and over again and slowly go through the steps, writing it down. So, to point out how this trend has come along, it is with the substantial increase with different technologies. Family members have a choice to live overseas in different states or towns, meaning no one is close to their relatives, and this can mean loss of communication. This means that computers, which have always been a part of our daily life, has now started to spread to the retired people who cannot travel as freely and wish to still keep in contact through either face-to-face conversation or through emails and phone calls, just to keep in touch with people they know. And this is where the computers have come in and had a mass use. The problem is that they do not always understand what they are doing, and it takes time and effort which needs to be put in to explain multiple times, and or to write up a set of instructions so they understand the particular task that they have to do to reach the end result. The IT industry, ICT, accounts for about 3% of our global emissions, meaning that IT is a user when it comes to global emissions. It can also be deduced that IT and office equipment contribute largely to a carbon footprint in most, if not all, businesses. This is because technology-wise, this is all part of the IT sector in its national view. So the big problem is that we need to lessen the impact of the carbon footprint that in any way uses IT. This does not seem readily possible unless people start buying power-saving computers and other power-saving gear. So the best way for the IT industry to help enable energy efficiencies in other sectors is to help enable energy efficiencies in other sectors. With this, an opportunity could deliver and therefore cause a saving of up to 5 times larger than the total emissions for the entire IC sector. Meaning that though the work that the ICT has done, it's not actually the IT sector that is lessening its carbon emissions. It's all the areas that the IT have affected through research and the increase of different projects to help decrease the carbon footprint in other areas. And this will help decrease global emissions of those particular businesses. With these problems being pointed out, what would need to be done is through the investment of different research projects and delving into the world of green IT, the industries could undergo changes that would help make the business greener. And though that work would readily improve the actual IT sector, upon where some, but not all, it would be saving emissions, power, and working towards cutting down the global footprint. So, with these different trends that have been said, most of the improvements are obvious and needed ones, because with the elderly, they need to be slowly taught and repetition makes perfect. While with green IT, it is all about sustainability through the use of IT, which will help better all and other areas in all businesses indirectly. It also affects IT in the way that IT is in itself helping get the job